I never thought I'd have to battle for a patch of dirt that was already mine. But life has a way of throwing curveballs when you're least expecting them. 8 long years, that's how much time I spent in sterile hospital rooms, holding my mom's hand through endless treatments until she slipped away. I came back to Willow Creek with her ashes in an urn and the deed to Grandpa Harold's old place clutched in my fist, grief weighing me down like a lead blanket. The property on Elm Avenue was supposed to be my fresh start. A quiet corner lot with weathered siding and those ancient pines standing guard like silent giants. But the second I swung open the creaky fence, there she was, Victoria Lang, the HOA president from next door, striding over in her sharp heels like she owned the whole block. "You've got no business here anymore," she snapped, her voice dripping with that fake authority people pull out when they're hiding something. The air was thick with the scent of blooming lilacs that spring, but it couldn't mask the bitterness rolling off her. She pointed to a shiny new sign staked in the ground, "Disputed Boundary Community Easement Pending." I blinked, confused, pulling out my phone to show her the scanned deed with the crisp county stamp. "This says clear as day there's no easement. Grandpa bought this in '82. And those boundary stones, he said himself, are still right where they belong." She waved it off like it was yesterday's news. "That shed's on shared land. You can't just waltz back after abandoning it." Abandoned? I'd been gone caring for family, not sipping margaritas on a beach. That's when Ryan Caldwell showed up, decked out in a tactical vest that screamed official but felt off. His radio crackled with static as he flashed a document from Benson and Partners. Heavy paper with gold embossing. "Sir, I've got a court order for temporary evacuation. Just sign this compliance form, and we'll sort it out." My hand hovered over the pen, exhaustion from those hospital vigils tempting me to give in. Legal fees from Mom's care had drained me dry, who needed more drama. But Grandpa's voice echoed in my head. "Check twice, Alex, and read the fine print." I scanned it closer. Buried in the legalese was a permanent waiver of my rights. This wasn't temporary. It was a full surrender. Ryan shifted. Uneasy. "Standard procedure for disputes," he insisted. But I spotted the Flossno judge's signature. No case number. He wasn't a cop. He was private muscle hired to intimidate. Heart pounding. I fired up a live stream on my phone. "Going live for transparency," I said, zooming in on the GPS map overlay matching Grandpa's old markers. Comments flooded in. "Fight for it. Smells like a scam." Victoria crossed her arms, her face tightening. The community's had that easement for years. Funny. She'd only moved here 4 years back. How would she know? Ryan fingered his radio, static buzzing like a warning. I dug deeper that night, emailing Benson and Partners. Their reply came quick. "We terminated that client last week. No involvement." I called Lisa Grant, the HOA treasurer, whispering over the line about budget lines. "No approvals for legal or security," she confirmed, her voice shaky. The next morning, under those swaying pines, Elena Vargas, the surveyor from across the way, wandered over with her tablet. "Those markers line up perfect with county records. No easement on file." Victoria showed up with blurry photocopies, fanning them out like a bad poker hand. 1980s covenants prove it. But they lacked seals. Looked like cheap copies. Ryan's radio crackled. "Hold position." Doubt crept into his eyes as Lisa projected spreadsheets at an impromptu gathering unauthorized payments for enforcement and fake legals. Neighbors murmured, the tension building like a storm cloud. The HOA meeting that evening turned explosive. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as Lisa hijacked the projector, revealing $4.500 siphoned for this charade. No board vote. she declared. Officer Tom Riley arrived, examining Ryan's order. This is junk, no court backing. Ryan muttered. I thought it was legit. The room erupted. Our dues funded this. Victoria ranted about community harmony, but her mask was cracking. Online. It went nuclear. Victoria posted at dawn. Edited photos making Grandpa's shed look like a blockade. Greed over safety. She captioned. I countered with streams of real docs, exposing her stock images. Hashtags like fake authority exploded. Ryan quit on the spot, refunding his fee. Can't enforce fraud. Local news latched on. HOA tyranny exposed. The neighborhood split, old-timers clinging to tradition, newcomers demanding proof. Tension simmered. Whispers of past overreach surfacing. Then came the midnight alert. My motel room phone buzzed. Motion at the shed. Live feed showed a figure jimmying the lock. I raced over, heart slamming. Inside, a young guy in his 20s was stashing rusty tools and signs labeled neighborhood comments. Our flashlights crossed. He looked just like Victoria. Mom said you stole our land. Taking back what's ours. Kyle Lang, her son, spilled it all. A 25-year grudge from a lost boundary spat with Grandpa. This wasn't about community, it was revenge, festering like an old wound. Ryan showed up after my frantic call. Outraged. I signed up for security, not crime. He dialed Tom. Police lights flashed under the pines as Tom documented the planted fake's fingerprints. Receipts. Victoria arrived. Face ashen. It should have been ours. Her breakdown revealed decades of bitterness, twisting family lore into felony. Board members convened on the spot. You're out as president. Kyle faced cuffs for breaking and entering. The scheme unraveled like cheap yarn. Court day dawned tense in the bustling county hall. I lugged boxes of evidence. Grandpa's meticulous files at the core. Judge Harlan reviewed. Ownership confirmed no easement. Forensics shredded Victoria's forgeries. Accountants traced diverted funds. Kyle's trial exposed the vendetta. His probation hinging on community service, learning real property law. HOA arbitration booted Victoria, installing Lisa with strict bylaws, no solo spending. Full transparency. Ryan testified, cleared of blame. His firm praised for new vetting rules. Neighbors, once divided, rallied, scrubbing graffiti from the shed, replanting along boundaries. Property values held. The case became a warning on HOA abuse. Standing by those reaffirmed markers, I felt the weight lift. 8 years of loss. But justice. It hit like spring rain. Washing clean. The shed stands solid now. Tools inside waiting for new hands. Grandpa's lessons endurance. Verification saved it all. Truth doesn't bend to grudges. But here's where it gets debatable. Should HOA presidents have unchecked power? Or does that invite tyranny? Is a decades-old feud justification for crime? Or just entitlement gone wild? Would you forgive a neighbor who tried to steal your legacy? Or cut ties forever? Drop your hot takes below. Does community harmony trump individual rights? Or is it a cover for bullies? Hit like if this fired you up. Subscribe for more real-life twists. And share your own battles. What would you do in my shoes?